Good morning, my dear students. Today, our lecture about Chapter 4 Marketing Segmentation, Targeting, and Positioning for Competitive Advantage. This chapter about the segmentation, targeting, and positioning. STP. It's the abbreviation of segmentation, targeting, and positioning. After reading the chapter, you should be able to define the market segmentation and market targeting, list and discuss the primary basis for segmenting customer and business markets, explain how companies identify attractive market segments and choose the market coverage strategy. In this chapter, we have three main topics. The market segmentation have two steps: to identify basis for segmentation of the market. Step number 2, develop profiles of resulting segments. After the market segmentation, we have to target our market. It have two steps: develop measures of segment attractiveness and select the target segment or more than one segment. After the marketing segmentation, then targeting the market segment. As a marketeer, I should end with the market positioning. Market positioning has develop positioning for each target market and develop marketing mix for each target segment. This is the steps in segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Then the organizations that sell to consumer and business markets recognize that they cannot appear to all buyers in those markets, or at least not to all buyers in the way. Buyers are too numerous, too widely scattered, and too varied in their needs, and buyers' practices. Companies vary widely in their abilities to serve different segments of the market rather than trying to compete in an entire market, sometimes against superior competitors. Each company must identify the parts of the market that it can serve best. Segmentation is thus a compromise between mass marketing, which assumes everyone can be treated the same, and the assumption that each person needs a dedicated marketing effort. This in the steps of segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Here we can define the market segmentation. The market segmentation is dividing a market into distinct groups of buyers within different needs, characteristics, or behavior who might require separate products or marketing mixes. And the marketing targeting process. This process, as a marketeer, I should make evaluating for each market segment's attractiveness for the company, then selecting one or more market segments to enter in the marketplace. The market positioning, arranging for a product to occupy a clear and desirable place relative to competing products in the minds of target consumers, formulating competitive positions for a product and a detailed marketing mix. Then in the marketing position, as a marketer, I interested in competing products in the mind of target consumer and then making a marketing mix for this segment of consumer. In the marketing segmentation, marketers consist of buyers and buyers differ in one or more ways that may differ in their wants, resources, locations, buying attitudes, and buying practices. Through market segmentation, companies divide large markets into small segments that can be reached more efficiently with products and services that match their unique needs. In this section, we discuss 7 important levels and topics of segmentation. Levels of market segmentation: segmenting the consumer markets, segmenting business markets, segmenting international markets, and multi-variable segmentation, developing market segments and requirements for effective segmentation. This is our important topics in this chapter of market segmentation, targeting and positioning. Here in the levels in our slide here, in the levels of market segmentation, business buyers have unique needs and wants. Each buyer is potentially a separate market. Then a seller might design a separate marketing program for each buyer. However, although some companies attempt to serve buyers individually, many others face large numbers of smaller buyers and don't find completely segmentation. Instead, they look for broader classes of buyers who differ in their product needs or buying response. This market segmentation can be carried out at many different levels. Companies can practice no segmentation that called with the mass marketing. Complete segmentation is the micro marketing or something in between the segment marketing or niche marketing. Here we have many levels of the market segmentation. The first level here, the mass marketing, using the same product and marketing mix to all consumer. In the mass marketing, I have no segmentation. In the second level, the segment marketing. In the segment marketing, the company divided the marketing for more than one segment, different products to one or more segments. This called with some segmentation. And the niche marketing, different products to subgroups within segments. It's called more segmentation. And the micro marketing, products to suit the tastes of individuals or locations by the complete segmentation. In the marketing segmentation, there are important bases and rules for segmenting the consumer market. The first base for segmenting the consumer market is the geographic segmentation by nations, states, regions, or cities. The second base here is the demographic segmentation by age, gender, family size, and lifestyle or income. And then the psychographic segmentation on the basis of social class, lifestyle, or personality, and the behavioral segmentation include occasions, benefits, uses, or responses. What we mean with the geographic segmentation? The geographic segmentation dividing an overall market into homogeneous groups on the basis of their location. The demographic segmentation dividing the consumer groups according to characteristics such as gender, age, income, occupation, education, ethnicity, household size, and stage in the family life cycle. Then the psychographic segmentation, dividing a population into groups that have similar psychographical characteristics and lifestyles. Here, the ending base of the basis of segmentation is the behavioral segmentation. People's decisions about how to live their daily lives, including benefits, usage rate, attitude, and loyalty status. In this table, there are some examples of the segmentation types and the description of it, and some examples and variables of these types of segmentations. After we talking about the basis for segmenting the consumer market, here we will discuss the basis for segmenting the business markets. As we know that we have two important expressions, business to consumer, B2C, and the business to business, B2B. Here, the basis for segmenting the business markets. The basis for segmenting the business markets included the demographic segmentation, operating characteristics segmentation, purchasing approaches segmentation, and the situational factors segmentation, and the personal characteristics segmentation. In the market segmentation, there are also bases for segmenting international markets. As a company in the international markets, I can segment the market on geographic basis, or geographic basis include the location of the countries, and the economic segmentation about the economy of the country and the rate of income, then the political and legal, how many legislation to enter this market, and the cultural segmentation. The cultural segmentation bases on the values and perceptions of the consumer, and the intermarket or the entry strategies for the international markets. In the market segmentation, there are some important requirements for effective segmentation. The effective segmentation should be measurable, accessible, sustainable, differential, and actionable. Measurable, I can measure the size and purchasing power profiles of segments can be measured. Accessible, the segments must be effectively reached and served. Sustainable, substantial, segments must be large or profitable enough to serve. Differential segments must respond differently to different marketing mix elements and actions. Actionable must be able to attract and serve these segments. Our chapter discusses the market segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Here we are in step number 2 is the market targeting. We mean with the market targeting evaluating the market segments to select one or more than one segment in this market. This evaluating of the market segment may be by the segment size and growth, segment structural attractiveness, or by the company objectives and resources. Segment size and growth by analyze sales, growth rates, and expected profitability. The segment structural attractiveness consider effects of competitors, availability of substitute products, and the power of buyers and suppliers. And the company objectives and resources, the company skills and resources relative to the segment or the segments. Look for competitive advantage for every company in every market segment. In the market targeting, we have market coverage strategies. Here we have 3 marketing coverage strategies. Strategy number 1, undifferentiated marketing. Strategy number 2, differentiated marketing. Strategy number 3, concentrated marketing. In the first strategy, undifferentiated marketing, the company look for the market as one segment and introduce with products and services in the market by one marketing mix for all the market. In the second strategy, differentiated marketing, the company segment and make the marketing segmentation here like in the figure, segment 1 and segment 2 and segment 3, and making for every segment company marketing mix for this segment. Here company marketing mix number 1 for the segment number 1, and the company marketing mix number 2 for segment number 2, company marketing mix number 3 for segment number 3, and this company will work in more than one segment by more than one marketing mix. The third strategy, the concentrated marketing mix, the company will segment the market for more than one segment and then select one segment to work and to introduce its products and look for a competitive advantage in this segment and introduce with the marketing mix that is good for this segment that the company choose. Here some definitions for the market coverage strategies. What we mean with the target market, a set of buyers sharing common needs or characteristics that the company decides to serve. The undifferentiated marketing strategy, a market coverage strategy in which a firm decided to ignore market segment differences and go after the whole market with one offer or one marketing mix. Differentiated marketing, a marketer coverage strategy in which a firm decided to target several market segments and designs separate offers and marketing mixes for each. In the third strategy, the concentrated marketing strategy, a market coverage strategy in which a firm goes after a large share of one or a few sub-markets. In the market targeting, the choosing of a market coverage strategy bases on some rules like company resources, product variables, products stage in the product life cycle, market variability, and the competitors' marketing strategies. Our chapter have three important steps: market segmentation, targeting, and in the end, the positioning for competitive advantage. Here, number 3, positioning for competitive advantage. The product's position is the place the product occupies in consumer's mind relative to competing products. For example, Volvo positions on safety. So, the product's position is included the consumer's mind relative to competing products. In positioning for competitive advantage, marketeers must plan positions to give products the greatest advantage and develop marketing mixes to create blend positions. Positioning for competitive advantage strategies: the product attributes, benefits offered, usage action, occasions, users against a competitor, away from competitor, and the product class. Here we have 3 steps to choosing and implementing a positioning strategy. Step number 1, identifying a set of possible competitive advantage, competitive differentiation. Step number 2, selecting the right competitive advantage. And step number 3, effectively communicating and delivering the chosen position to the market. In the step of developing competitive differentiation, there are some areas for competitive differentiation like the product and services and the personal and the image for our. There are some criteria for determining which differences to promote, and selecting the right competitive advantage it's important: distinctive, superior, communicable, repeatable, affordable, and profitable. This is the criteria